I'd like to start with a little bit of a review of Central Florida after watching the game tape and studying some of the statistics. Number one, we lost the turnover battle and we lost the penalty battle, which there are two things that are going to be a major point of emphasis for us this week. 75% of college football teams will beat themselves with those two statistics. We want to get those things cleaned up. What we were able to do, which is also a big factor, is explosive plays. We were able to create a lot of explosive plays for our offense. Our defense, we didn't meet our goal, and I think if we had done that, and I thought we would have played lights out on defense. We need to get those things cleaned up. Overall, we did what we had to do to win the game. We had that ingredient. The guys knew how to get it done. We basically controlled the game for the most part, and then lost the lead late in the game. A lot of teams can't rebound from that, and our guys were able to do that. Very opportunistic in all phases of the game. Very pleased with our preparation and our organization leading up to that game and the whole trip. I'd like to thank Jamal Griffin, Michael Hazel, and Kevin Threlkill for all the work that they put in behind the scenes with our travel arrangements and things like that. I think, in the end, we got to protect the ball on offense, and we got to take the ball away more on defense. Got to do a better job there. Offensively, we got to score when we get into the red zone. Although I thought Ficken did a great job for us, and our scoring in the red zone was 100%. We were 5 for 5, but only 104 when it comes to touchdowns, which is what we want to be able to do. Defensively, eliminate the big plays, cause more takeaways like we talked about. Special teams, we got to eliminate the penalties. Our coaching staff players of the week, I know the Big Ten had players of the week, but our coaching staff players of the week on offense was Christian Hackenberg. Defensively was Anthony Zettel, and on defense it was Sam Ficken. Big Ten players of the week, as you guys already know, was Sam Ficken, and co-freshman of the week was Deshaun Hamilton. So really pleased with that. Kind of getting into Akron, Coach Terry Bowden, I've known for a long time. Terry actually, when I was at Kansas State, he came and spoke at our clinic. His third year there, his 21st year overall. You look at all the success that he's had, his time at Auburn, and all the different places he's been. Obviously a very, very tenured coach, and I would say that about their staff. They got a really veteran staff. They returned 15 and 22 starters on their team offensively. That's 9. Defensively, that's 6. They're 1-0 after beating Howard, obviously. If you look and you're doing a comparative when it comes to the statistics that I think are most important, they're ahead of us in every category. Turnover margin, penalties, total offense, total defense, scoring offense, and scoring defense. Some of those things early in the season are a little bit skewed based on who you play and things like that, but there's still things that we look at. Also, really excited about being able to honor the 1994 undefeated national championship team and the 5 first-team All-Americans that will be here. Really, really excited about those guys coming back, so I think that's going to be great. Chuck Amato is their defensive coordinator. Chuck was the head coach at NC State. I've known him for a long time as well. Expected big things from them. 6 returning starters, which we already talked about. The guy that jumps out to us is their defensive end, number 11, Nordley Cappy. Is a speed guy off the edge. On offense, their offensive coordinator, A.J. Milwee. They got 9 returning starters. The guys that jump out to us are their running back, Jawan Chisholm, who's a Harrisburg High School kid. Zach DeRazio is a wide receiver, and then their quarterback, Kyle Prohl, who threw for over 62%, 4 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. On special teams, Jeff Bowden, obviously a very, very experienced coach, is their special teams coordinator, and then number 3, their their kickoff return guy is a weapon for them. So that kind of gives you a few points, things that we're looking for, things that we've studied already, and we're looking forward to getting out and practicing today.
Okay, we'll take questions from the phone line, starting with Rich Garcella in Reading. Rich, go ahead.
Thanks, Jeff. Good afternoon, James.
How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Awesome.
What did you and your staff do to help the players transition back to home after the trip?
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't think the trip coming back was an issue. It was very well organized. We were able to go right from the stadium to the airport. had really good food for them waiting as soon as we left the stadium, which is important from a nutrition and hydration standpoint. The flight was really well. I thought United did a great job, treated us first class. And then obviously, Sunday they were able to sleep in while the coaches were back in the office early. And then having Monday off was really helpful as well, not only off from football, but off from school. It's some holiday that I think we celebrate called Labor Day. Myself and my staff have never had one of those. We labor on Labor Day, but I think it was really good for our players that they were able to have the time off and really rest up. So, that worked out extremely well. But we haven't really had to do a whole lot from that point on.
Bob Flounders in Harrisburg.
Hi, James. How are you doing today?
Good, Bob. How are you?
I'm good. I was wondering, James, could you speak to the challenges you and your staff had in the first quarter without the sideline communication on the headsets? And also, I was wondering what your thoughts were on a couple of your first-year guys that played, Grant Haley, Saeed Blackmon, and Chris Cosman.
Okay. Yeah, it was a real challenge. I'm going to talk about this, but I'm not going to talk about specific to this game. The way the rules are set, if your headsets are out, the other headsets are supposed to come off. For us in that game specifically, it created some really challenges. John Donovan sprinted down to the sideline and called the game from the sideline. Defensively, Brett Pry was able to step in there for a short period of time. Luckily, our offense was able to move the ball and eat up some of the clock, but it created some real challenges for us. The way we break up and the way we communicate with having coaches in the booth and coaches on the sideline so they're able to view and know what's going on. It was a problem, but the power was out. I mean, the power was completely out.
I think Bob asked about Haley.
Excuse me, yes. The young guys I thought did some nice things. I think you guys see why we're excited about Grant Haley. We think we might have found the guy at that position. Not only did he have a couple big returns, but almost broke one for a touchdown. So we're going to continue to build on that. You look at some of the young receivers, not only the true freshmen, but the redshirt freshmen. Deshaun played extremely well. I thought Godwin was able to come in and do some good things, as well as Saeed. Gino's circus catch was unreal on the tip pass. And then you look defensively, Marcus Allen being able to get some time and play on special teams. There was a number of guys that I thought did some nice things for us and had a role. And I think that those roles will continue to grow as the season goes on. You'd love to get to the point where by the midpoint of the season those guys have played and they're not freshmen anymore. They're not rookies, they're veterans and are playing that way.
Derek LaVarse from Wilkes-Barre.
Hi, James.
Hi,
what
Derek.
sort of progress do you think your offensive line has made since camp broke, now that they've actually had some time to play together as a unit?
Yeah, I think they made real progress. I really do. Obviously, we need to do a better job of being able to impose our will in the running game and be able to dictate the game from that standpoint. We weren't able to do that consistently on Saturday, and for our development as a team and as an offense specifically, we're going to have to do that. That's going to help Hack out. That's going to help the receivers out. That's going to help everybody. And we feel like we got good running backs. So our tight ends and our O-line collectively together, being able to finish blocks, be able to sustain blocks, and then our communication, making sure we're all on the same page and who we're working to and things like that is important. There was flashes of some good things on the tape. But we got to be able to finish better. We got to be able to finish better. I think one of the things we talk about all the time is winning minimizes the issue. Losing magnifies the issues. But either way, the issues are still there, and we got to resolve them. So I think I was pleased with them overall. I think the amount of times that we threw the ball, we were able to protect Hack pretty well. Hack was able to use his mobility and help us out a little bit there as well. But I thought we had a good plan to move in the pocket and some things like that, but I thought they played pretty well.
Mark Wogenrich in Allentown.
James, you mentioned Chuck.
Hey, Mark. How are you?
Earlier. Good, thanks. How are you? You mentioned Chickamauga earlier. He's local for me, so I wanted to get your impressions of him. How long have you known him, and what kind of defensive coordinator is he?
I've known him for a long time. Obviously, my time in the ACC. He was in the ACC for a long time. His brother was an ACC official who I've known for a long time. So you know, there's some similar friends and people that we've worked with, and you know, obviously, you look at his career, all the success that he had at Florida State and NC State. Not only in recruiting but also in coaching. They got a veteran staff. You know, you look at the bios on their staff. They got a really experienced staff, and I think that's been helpful for them. I think that's why you see them improving, you know, so quickly and drastically from the time they showed up to where they're at right now. Yeah, I think energy is important in general. I want that with our coaches. I want that with our players, and not everybody, you know, has that. I do think, you know, having really active defensive linemen with really good motors is important. Those two guys we think have a chance to be special. We really do. I think we need to rotate more guys in, especially when it comes to Zettel. I think he played a little bit too many reps in the game. And we want to make sure that we're keeping him fresh for fourth quarters, but also keep him fresh throughout the year. But I've been very pleased with them. You guys have heard me talk about our D-line. I'm expecting you know, Parker's role to continue to grow. I'm expecting Taro's role to continue to grow. All those guys, and I think you'll see more of that this week.
James, you were just saying about the D-line, about too many reps and that kind of thing. With the offensive line, by my count, I had the same 5 for every single snap on offense. Would that ideal number be for you? Because like you said, you want to keep the same 5 in there, but is that too much in an ideal situation if all things are equal?
No, I think, again, most places I've been, the offensive line pretty much plays the whole game. You might have a guy substitute in here or there. We do some things where we have 6 offensive linemen in the game or 7 offensive linemen in the game to try to get those guys some experience. Obviously, over time, as we continue to develop more depth, and that's mentally understanding their responsibilities as well as physically. You'd like to probably get a guy maybe a series or a few reps here or there, but the way we've typically got those guys reps is with the 6th and 7th offensive linemen. So now if they do have to go into the game, it's not the first time being in there.
Hey James, right over here. So you mentioned how after the players got back to State College, they got a good night's rest before practice on Sunday. But you and the coaching staff got into facilities early and whatnot. Did you and your guys, the coaching staff, did you guys hit a wall at all? And if so, how did you get over that?
No. No.
Did you expect to hit a wall at all or no?
No. There is no walls. There is no walls. There's this term that people use when you go from one coast to the other. You know that term? Yeah, we don't use that that term. We don't talk. We don't say that. What'd you say?
You don't say tired.
Yeah, we don't use those words. I'm kidding around, obviously, but I truly believe in how you talk and how you think, and how you approach things is how things go. I truly believe that. I think coaches are used to it. I never really got on track over there. I didn't really sleep real well over there. I'm not an alarm clock guy. My body kind of has its own, internal clock, and I get up most times every single day without the alarm clock going off. So I never really got on schedule. So coming back, I was still on that schedule, if that makes sense. Sunday I woke up pretty much about the same time, and spent some time with my wife and kids, and then went into the office. I think the coaching staff has handled it really well. I do think, again, the way the trip was organized and the plane and things like that was helpful because we were able to sleep on the planes and things like that.